I wonder if this is going to work because everyone's using. Yeah, I wonder if it's going to work. Everyone's using their streaming and all that sort of stuff, so it might turn out to be rubbish. I'm not sure. We'll just suck it and see, hey? Alright. Meanwhile... Hi, Owen. How you going? Hello, Streetcar Culture. Oh, I know you. You're the guy with the XE, the yellow one. No, it's an XF, and you'll put an XE dash in. Is that right? Mervyn, how are you? Nolan, how you going? Daniel, how are you? Graham Townsend, how you going? Always do this Sasquatch. How you doing? Owen, sounds like somebody's typing very quickly. Oh, yeah, there's a click. Liam Scanlon, how are you today, sir? Are you doing online teaching? I'm doing it at the moment. Hi, Ryan, how are you going? From Yorkshire. Look at this. Hey, Yorkshire tea. Just changed myself up a bit in the middle of rebuilding my Ford 5-litre Windsor. Good move. Is it a roller one, like a later one, or an early one? I'm surprised from you. Yes, Don. I never announce these things. I used to, every now and then. It's face-to-face, Liam. Yeah, I used to, but then I couldn't get the camera work at the right time. There were people waiting. It's like, is he coming? And all this. I just turn it on and just muddle through it. Stage 4, yeah, fine. That's why I'm picking up sort of, that's why I did that little pit bike. It's like, whatever I can get, I'll take. Do you know what I mean? All the best from Queensland. Thank you very much. Love your work. Thank you so much. Lovely mower videos. I've got to do another one of those. I've got all this bridge stuff that a guy gave me electronic ignition for a bridge. EBX08. Oh, pardon me. In an EA. I'd want AU top end and a nice little cam to go in it. Yeah, it's a roller. Greetings from Manly. How are you going in Manly? I did Bogan Blokes. I responded to it. What time's there? It is 5 minutes to 10 in the evening. Two-door Starling, it's the same colour as yours, except the one I saw was a basket case. Well, so was mine. I don't even use it that much because we're in lockdown. We're not allowed to go anywhere. The pit bike video, yeah, that was running the gauntlet, seeing if I can get that thing going. I really did nearly. There was a rubbish pile down the road, and I thought, Susie goes, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to take it down there." And then I thought, actually, I'm struggling for content because the deliveries for parts just take so much longer. The Australia Post is 157% or something more or busier now than what they normally are. Drive it. Oh, that's hellish to ride. I wasn't going to include the footage of me trying to ride it. The rear suspension's almost seized, and you slide forward, and you're like that. And there's all this slack in the steering. The headstock's buggered. It's got no brakes on it. And the tires were flat, and it was horrible. But it'll be a good little project for some person to do with a kid. I wouldn't let a kid ride it now. Whenever somebody comes to take it, I'll take the chain off. And they can. I said it was free. I'm gonna have to charge like $5 or $10 or something for it because it'll have a disclaimer on it. And apparently you can't do that when you give something away. It becomes a contract or something. I don't know how it works. Oh, right. AP had its busiest day ever on Monday last. I don't know what AP is. Super random. Where did you buy all your front-end rebuild kit for the XW? I just got it at Burson's. And some of it, I'm going to take the spring saddles out because they're squeaky. They're rubbish. And I want to get the bearing type. I've got bearing type ones in the XC, and they came from a Mustang place. They were actually from my brother's Mustang, and he didn't use them. And, Australia Post, I beg your pardon. And I've got to, Oh, what is it? I've got to change that and change the springs. I'm going to bring the front end up about an inch. It's too low at the front, too high at the back, but I want to sort the front end first. It was supposed to be inch lowered springs, but they're Windsor, like XYV8 and XYV8 or XWV8 or whatever. The Windsors that they're talking about on the packaging or in the catalogue are for a 302. 351 Windsors are almost the same weight as a Cleveland. So I put some Cleveland springs in it. Thanks for the shout out about the interior light. Hope it looks good. It looks brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, I wanted to say hi to everyone. And you know what? I forgot the poor fella who gave me that. It's a pocket oscilloscope. And I'm going to, I mentioned a scope because I've forgotten how to use them. I did electronics training many years ago. This thing's brilliant and it's got all the, did I show you this? Hang on, I've got to turn it on. Hang on, I've forgotten how to turn it on. Oh, there it is. Hang on a minute. Yeah, and I forgot to mention this poor fella. That's it. And it's a mini oscilloscope, and it's got the leads and everything to plug into it. You can't see it on the camera. It's got oh, you can't see it. It's all got all these different options down this side which don't come out. It's all color. I haven't used it. I've got to figure out how to use it. But you can scroll through different different menus and all this sort of stuff. You can probably see it better on an angle like that. And that poor chap sent this to me, and I don't know if I've thanked him. And I've got to get a hold of him and say thanks so much. So I wanted to do it now. All right, you reminded me to do it now. I only need to lower the back, yeah, but the front's too low. It's supposed to be a grandpa spec K-code, and it's not even like that. Okay. Old and any old Mazdas, no, but I want to. I like those. Love the Starley series. Got me keen to install aircon on my Start Life. Got saved with a new airbag. Lucky you, hey? Mine all got crushed and turned into Westinghouse washing machines. Hello, Mr. Gab. How are you going? Thanks for the shout out about the XC parts. Thank you so much, Liam. You've been very, very generous, and it's kind of hard when you're donating parts to someone if you don't see them in use, and it's like, what have you done with them? But there's been a lot of people that have been very generous with the XC, and I still haven't driven the car. I've got to drive the car. And so I've decided, you know what, bugger it. I'm going to order all the door seals. That's about $700, a tail shaft, and the rear brake lines, and then it's drivable. And then I've just got to do the front. But the headlights are worrying me a bit. I've got some. But they need resilvering, and I can't get the resilvering guy. So I spoke to one guy, Grant Wickham, and he got some overseas, Germany or England or something for the Mark 1 Granada. And I looked then, and it's £180 for one of them from Germany and more to bring it out here. Oh, I'm just trying to hang on, I'm trying to keep up. I've already got 70 people. Bugger it, that's a lot. Thank you very much for coming with no warning. Would you be able to help me getting movie cars? What's a movie car? Movie cars. I was hoping Susie would, but she had a few wines and went to bed, and Rosie's watching a movie with Lana. I can't get anyone to come in here and do it. They go, oh, I don't know anything about cars. And I said, you don't have to talk about cars. You can talk about anything. After lockdown, I still have those Fairmont pill lights for you in my garage. I'll drop past again and say good day. You're always welcome to drop past and say good day. Hi from Bernie. Where's Bernie? Oh, is that the person's name? Bernie. I beg your pardon, that's your name. Sorry, I was thinking of Burnley. I beg your pardon. Hello, how are you? Got an F100. Good to see. After 20, giving the XY to me low because I couldn't pay my bill. That's a shame. Andrew Harrison, how are you? I've so many suspension springs that I can't tell you what heights they are because of all the numbers are worn off. I just have to change them all over and check them. Get the drive shaft powder coated. I'm going to go to a guy in Fenchurch Gully who's known everywhere around here for doing really, really good work. Oh, Pete C in Cortina City. I've spoken to him. There's a lot of chrome work done for his rebuild quite reasonably, apparently. They're the headlights, though. It's not chrome, it's resilvering. I might actually get in touch with him. He's a good guy. I've spoken to him before. Oh, you need some pre-82 cards for a movie that you're making. I don't know. Bernie's in Tassie. Oh, God, sorry. Hi, Nate. How are you going? Good to see you doing another live. Yeah, well, I got my tea. I had a shower, washed my hair. I need a haircut. But what do you do? Bob in England. How are you going, Bob? Good to see you from the old mother country. I was almost born in Tasmania. Close call. That's not very nice. Plans for the Bluebird? Yes, I'm going to. It doesn't need much. I've finished the interior. Didn't need much. I've got to change the headrest, the driver's headrest. It's got like a head stain from someone else on it. So going from the records, it's behind me on the floor. So I've got to change the cover over from that. That's going to take 20 minutes. And then I've got. Did I put belts on it? Yeah, I did. I put new belts on it. I put plugs in it. I put a radiator in it. I changed the coolant. I bled the cooling system. I got brand new discs and rotors in it. Not discs and rotors are the same thing. Disc rotors, and I've got to still wash underneath it properly. I washed the engine bay from above, but there's just been that much oil that's leaked out. So I wash underneath it. CVs are all good. And then I just have to, I've got to put front end bushes through it. And then we're good. What's up with the 70s porn star mustache? Don't know. Hang on, I'll show that. I don't know, but I'm not a 70s porn star. In the 70s, I was a child. Unless I was a child porn star. But that's, yeah, let's not go there. I'm glad to see your face. I was getting bored. A lot of people get bored with my face too. I've had a 48-215 ute in the bush. There will be a video. Sounds good. Video everything. Not everything, within reason, right? And it's unusual for a person your age to be sort of into this old stuff. I'm kind of impressed. Because I've been worrying because XWs and XYs are stupid money, 80 grand, that sort of thing. And when I get a little bit older, the new generation coming through now are going to be into more 90s stuff. And I'm worried about the value falling out of them. I can't tell if you're a boy or a girl. Are you talking to me? I wouldn't be an attractive girl. Looking forward to getting back on the XC. The XC hasn't got much on it left. The door, I've got to get a kick trim for the right-hand side. That's what I need to do. And I've got to get a kick trim. I've got to get the seatbelts re-webbed in the front. And just small stuff, really. But the headlights are worrying me. I've got a front bumper. I thought I needed one. I thought the one I had was a ZH, but I was wrong. I'd already changed that over, but I didn't remember changing it over. So I've got the bumpers. The rear one needs doing, but I just can't be stuffed at the moment. I'll buff out the boot, put the Fairmont GXL badges on. Grant Wickham donated trim to go across the boot lid, the same as the XBGT one. And yeah, we're moving back towards it. The only problem, one of the reasons, the XC is just such a pain to get out of where it is. Any luck with finding a kit for the T50 fuel tap? I didn't. I just bought another one. I bought a. That's all right. Thank you very much. I don't mind replying. I bought a standard non-vacuum type one, and you know what? If I get a kit, then that's fine. I can put the vacuum one back on. But some people have said they were problematic, and I just thought I don't want to wait 6 weeks for a kit to come from the States and pay $40 American for postage. There was a local one for $28 with the dual outlet, so I'm just going to stick that on for now, even though I'm keeping the original one. And okay, so someone got their headlights re-chromed. How are we going? Sam Nicholson, how are you going, buddy? It's so good to see you. Huh. Are you with anybody, or are you by, I suppose you're by yourself? It's this stage 4 thing, isn't it? You, Graham Bell, you're welcome to have a conversation in the comment thing. It makes it look like more people are here. So if there's more text going, it makes it look like it's all good. Another Graham Wickham who's involved with Morris Miners. I wonder if it's the same one. This guy's in Sydney. I think he's in Sydney, and he's got Mustangs. He had a Fairmont GXL. He's got He's got some funny cars. Yeah, he's got some small cars as well. I don't know what he's got though. Sasquatch, you're having a conversation with somebody else, that's fine. Am I going to fit a cat converter to the XC? No. No, just a dual exhaust. What's the next project? There's a couple of motorbikes coming out, but every time I pull a bike out, everyone gets pissed off and they want to see more car stuff, but I've run out of room. I've actually run out of room now, so it means I've got to sell something or do something different, and I don't know what to do. Read my message above. Toys, where's that? My dad owns a T65X Ute. It crashed into trail Boxing Day last year. Oh no. T65 Ute. What is that? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Is it like an XR8 type thing? Ongoing projects. I've got just the motorbikes. Dave Raymaker's offered me an XL 500 in bits and another Chinese pit bike and his wife's childhood QA50, which is like a Honda Amigo. He wants to do that up. So I've got to just figure out what to do. I've got to get this bloody Falcon going. I can store some cars at your place. That's awesome. Thanks. First time I ride an XD, courtesy of Rizzo's finest in a Hingline game. I remember I was a little kid when Dad went out and did a test drive. We test drove a Fairmont gear, and then he got the dark brown one. Dig an underground garage and get some storage room and views. Problem solved. The problem is with that, it'll fill up with water because we're on a high water table here, and then we'll just end up with that Plymouth from Miss Belvedere in Tulsa in Oklahoma that got buried and filled up with water. I'll try to let you know. I was shitting bricks about the what? Order, but as many times and said it would definitely fit in. I'll show that. That's fine. Oh, UJM stuff. Oh, yeah, I know who he is. He's quite expensive, that guy, but he's good. He knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah, I know who he is. He'd like the $30 mini bike. That mini bike was hell. It actually was fun, but when I had to ride it, it was like horrible. God. Burson's off all tomorrow. See those front end rebuild kits. Burson's have become, you know what? If you're not in a hurry, and I hope Matt Treadwell's not watching this because he's the manager at Burson. I used to teach him when he was in year 11 or something. Well, Burson's pricing, I bought 2 V8 Falcon engine mounts and a transmission mount for $60, and online they were like $90, right? And they were so reasonable, Burson's, and their pricing's gone stupid. I can't even buy sheets of wet and dry there. Bunnings is like $1.50, Burson's is like $3.50. So the pricing's gone nuts. If you're not in a hurry, there's a guy called Rob Mills, and he has an eBay store called NRAP, which is North Ringwood Auto Parts. Get him through him, and he's cheap as chips, and his postage is reasonable. He's a great guy. I've known him since I was about 10. He used to own the auto parts shop in North Ringwood. He closed it years ago, and he works out of his garage somewhere. I don't know where he went, but he's a good guy, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. Love watching your channel. So interesting. Thank you very much, Greg. I'm glad you like it because a lot of people don't. Mark Finnegan, how are you going? You cannot get a factory workshop manuals now. It depends what it's for. You can sometimes find old ones. You persevered. You talk about that motorbike. Spares box, yes. Every now and then, a long time ago. Tirana stuff I got from there, I think. Can we do some trivia on the new Cybertruck? Is that the Tesla thing? When we dust off the MG, I've got to pull it out soon. I've got to put Harvey's taco back in it. And do you feel like rebuilding a 302 Windsor? I saw your email. It's stuck in Dandenong, is it, Andrew? I can't get there at the moment because we're in lockdown. We're not allowed to go more than 5 kilometres from our house. You get a $1,650 fine. I think that's lifted on September 13 at this stage. It depends what the Premier does. Yeah, the XC I'm happy with. Yeah, the MG will come out. Yeah, the MG will come out. I bought a brake light switch through Burson's and they were $30 more than everyone else. They quoted me something like $280 for the Cygnus fuel pump. Or something dumb like that. It was like $320, I don't know. And someone on here said, no, go through this joint. They do rebuild kits. And I looked at rebuild kits for it and I couldn't find one. But true to his word, he was right. It was $50. In one of your last videos, I saw you playing with factory radios. Oh, wow. 6VK Eurofox radios and EQs for Brox, plus a couple of XF gear radios. Did you get those? Are they yours? Keep those. Yeah, North Ringwood Auto Parts. It was Rob Mills. Well, it was Hobson's that owned it, and then Rob Mills bought it. He bought it in about 1981, 82, around there. What have we got? Pete, do you remember a place that used to be on Burwood Highway in French Valley called Auto Spares Galore? Yeah, wasn't that Hillman Spares that went to Blackburn, and now it's Auto Surplus? I bet it's the same place, and they had freaking everything there. I'm sure it's the same one. For the old Holden stuff, we go to the Capella Crew in Moorabbin. There was Comeback Records in Mordialloc too. And East Coast, yeah, East Coast from Ringwood. What is this here? Rob Whitelaw. Man, that restored taco batch that you MG were, yeah, they were amazing. That was Harvey. And he kind of does it. He's a retired instrument builder. He's brilliant. He's freaking brilliant. He did the Sigmas dashes on the MGs, Taconies on the bike, Speedo on Taco too. Hello, Phil with the XF Falcon. I didn't realise it says Robert Harrison. Your name's Phil. Are you on board for helping me find parts? Yeah, as I said, I wrote quite a lengthy email to you about that, about doing things in small chunks to sort of break it down a bit, and also calling Auto Surplus. Whereabouts do you live? Are you in Melbourne? I just checked. I bought a master cylinder off Robert Mills on eBay called Ringwood Auto Parts. Now in Nutfield. Oh, Nutfield. Yeah, that's Rob Mills. That's the guy. He would have been laughing when he was trying to see me riding this stupid bloody pit bike. And I was nervous. I didn't know how fast or how slow it was, and I had no brakes. I had to put my feet down all the time. I hope you're well. Love the Sigma videos. Do you still have it? Yes, and I've got to repaint the bonnet and the roof and the boot. It got destroyed under a wet cover, but the bonnet paint was knackered anyway. Yeah, I think it's Auto Surplus now. It was huge. Yeah, it is. They moved to they were Hillman Spares in Blackburn, then they moved to Nunawading up Rooks Road, and now they've moved again. I think now they're going to Croydon. They're doing well. You can go in there and you can buy lots of Cleveland and Windsor parts, like water pumps, gasket kits, and all this, and they're really reasonable. They're cheaper than everyone else. The gaskets are in really good quality. Or you can go in there and get something for a 1927 Buick. Like, they're just amazing. Hillman Spares, my dad would get all these Hummer parts there. That's the one. Same joint. Please, I decided to check YouTube now. Hi, I'm from South Africa. How are you, Tony? How's it going in South Africa? I've never been there. Do you live there, Eastlane, mate? Because I saw you at Woolies buying eggs and tampons. No, I wasn't buying tampons. Did I buy tampons? I probably bought one of the kids' little pack of pads or something, but I wouldn't have been walking around. I would have thrown it in the bag. Eggs and tampons. Imagine. I like some eggs. Can I just have some eggs and tampons? That'd be funny. Could you please neaten up your left shirt collar? It's asymmetrical and driving me crazy. Don't look at my hair. It's a mess. Can't wait to hear the ending to the Honda 750. The 750 Honda is about to get woken up again. It's been sitting under a cover and it's full of dust. Now I'm about to buy an exhaust for it. I saved up some money and I'm getting a tiny bit of money back for tax because I paid too much, and I'm really happy about that because I intend to enjoy it. I'm giving a lot of it to Susie and the kids. So enjoy your content of late. Starlet came out mint. We'd like to see the return of the MG. The return of the MG coming on the way. I've got to do some bodywork on it though. Oh, what is it? Hi Peter, how's it going in lockdown? Great. It says look down here. I mean, when it doesn't move. Do you know who might have a linkage assembly for a V8 C4 column shift? I had trouble getting mine. I bought one for the XW. I paid $100 and it was knackered. It looked like it was off the Titanic. Almost had stalactites coming off it. But that's the reason I used a cable for the throttle on the XW, because the original V8 throttle linkages were just dumb money. I just thought, get nicked. I'm not going to pay that. So you will find them, but you're reliant on, actually, any of them will fit. XW, XY, A, B, C, D, they'll all fit. And XE. Any of the V8s that came with a 302 will have a C4. 351s have FMXs. Right, what are we doing? Failure warning light came on the other day. EL 5 litre. There's no brake fluids anyway. Rightio, it's got anti-lock brakes. If it's got ABS, the ABS sensors are probably covered in crap. Or if you change the pads, and the ABS light's separate, I've just remembered. If you've changed the pads and there's a thing in the master cylinder, the switch goes in the center. If that's been upset, sometimes I think you have to take the switch out, pump the pedal to centralize it, then put the switch back in. Look into that. I'm glad you like it, Roger. Look, I'm going to piss you off. Look into that. I'm glad you like it, Roger. Look, I'm going to piss you off. I'm just going to do that. Do that. Do you like that? What do we got? Also saw you at Woolies in Eastland throwing toilet paper at an employee because of how expensive the tampons were. This must be a kid from school. Tampons, I don't think I've ever bought tampons. I bought pads, but I haven't bought tampons. Don't sell the Sigma yet. I had a GM, put the GH dash with the GK seats. Sigma yet. I had a GM, put the GH dash with the GK seats in 2 litre. Still regret getting rid. I had one that I turbocharged. No, I won't sell it. Anyone's done a lot of work on it donated to me, I won't sell it. So what's the plan with the Plymouth? I have got to get it out, take the whole front clip off, change the body mount, then it has to go and have the headlining put in, and the interior. Tim Watson. Yeah, I know who Tim Watson is. Are you talking about the teacher, Tim Watson? Are you talking about the teacher, Tim Watson? By the way, thoughts are with you guys in Victoria, a little easy in WA. So to us, as long as you have to wait 3 weeks. The thing with the COVID thing is a pain in the ass. What paint did I use on the Starlet? Was it? Yeah, it's only single stage. It wasn't 2-pack. I won't do 2-pack here. I'd seen it because it's better. But most of the stuff I did was just single pack. How did you manage to get a dust-free environment? I didn't. There are a couple of an insect, a small, like one of those mini fly things. I don't know what it is. That jumped into the clear coat, but by the time you wet sand it, you can't even see where it was. Looks like I might have to wait for a couple of weeks. Perhaps I can give you a call after that, unless you feel like rebuilding a 302. I wouldn't have time. I've got no room here either. I'd have to get the engine stand and everything out. You should see this joint. The other thing is draining the oil on it. I can help you with that, provided I can get there. It's in Dandenong, I think you said. But if it's like it'd be sitting on a pallet or something. I've got to be able to drain the oil out. I've got to think about how to do it. Sorry, it's locked down. It's an XW. Good to hear about the TV. I'll be waiting. Mine is at the bottom. Is it bottom in? Oh, it's having its bottom in redone. Enjoy the videos you did. And Hacker Week. Hacker Week's gone weird. I used to love watching Hacker Week, and he doesn't really post anything. And he did all these weird electronic things with Emily's Electronic Oddities, I think. Remember when the Sigma 2.6 came out? Gave the commanders off the time, pardon me, hiding. Yeah. Yeah, it does. That does suck balls, the COVID thing. But you know what? I've got an old mum, and I don't want her getting sick. Started rewatching the Hacker Week XP CB750, but I've been looking for some good bike manuals. He knows what he's doing. He's a bright guy, Hacker Week. His name's Dean. I can't remember his name. Dean somebody. The Ferret Special. We handled Peter Werrett Special. That's going back. My brother bought it for $2,000 or something, and then he sold it for $2,000. Okay, 8 Cayman XR GT or a Valiant Hard. Okay, HK Monaro, XRGT, or a Valiant hardtop. HK Monaro, all day. I'll have one of those. Sorry, Ford guys. I love HK Monaro. What do all the kids you teach hang out? Don't know. Maybe the girls, and I don't know. I have no idea. I binge watched the XY Resto. It was the most detailed example I've ever seen. Thank you very much. My mate has a little Toyota Echo, the one after the Starly. We're going to hack the body off, make it into a go-kart type thing. Yeah. Hope you stay safe. Thank you very much. Don's Tricks. They'll probably have a thought if they can lift it up. And yes, it's on a pallet. If they can lift it up, I can get a tray underneath and drain it. That's easy. Do you like to come? I'm in Dandenong. I can't get to Dandenong at the moment. We've just said that. Why are you having a fight with Eastland? Oh, God, not you again. Is that Jaden Crick? I wonder if it is. Best car ever on YouTube. Oh, thanks very much. Love your XD, even though it's brown. Would love to see you rebuild it. Regret selling mine. What a rocket was a rocket. Yeah, they're good. Time to build old Mazda. Don't object at all. Okay, so Matthew Moses had an HC when I sold it for 6,000 in about 1995. I had one. I sold it for 500 in 1987, and it was a pearl. It had some rust in the front guards, and that was about it. It was that electric blue with the black. It was a GDS. I had new old stock hubcaps through Nielsen Holden, my brother got, and it was 186S with the pad gearbox, the Opel gearbox. I also thought I'd ask, is it me or seating a fuel sender? Oh, it can be, yeah. Sometimes you've got to twist them around to get them in. These kids are giving me the shit. If I was to make an engine stand again, I would make it lighter. Mine's massive. You can put a Cummins big block or whatever. You put a big Cummins diesel on that. It's just too heavy. Like it wheels around all right, but when you can have a, my brother's car, my brother's engine was 450 horsepower it made. And it just sits there. As long as you don't have them under load, they're not going to jump around. They'll talk a bit when you rev them. They'll just rev like that, move a bit. But it's when you put them under load, that's when they jump. But yeah, I'd make it a bit more light duty and something that I could store a bit easier. Maybe with the top bars that had the radiator, I would have them so they're removable. That sort of thing. Brother's Mustang is on it now. John did that the wrong. I don't agree he did it because he wanted to modify it. I said, just do it stock. It's always going to be worth more. And, just fine tune it a bit. And he got all this hypo kit for it and all this other stuff. And he put air conditioning back in it. I wouldn't have even bothered doing that. But, yeah, I mean, that's what it had. So he wanted to put that back. That's fine. But he's used a lot of aftermarket. Some of the stuff he's used is really bad quality. And so he's got all the dashing, the engines in, the wiring he's doing at the moment. Then he finds out the heater core is leaking everywhere. It's like, that just shouldn't happen with new parts. And he sent me a photo on the phone. And it's got these stupid solder joints only about 4 millimeters in. It's ludicrous how they've done it. The contact area, I'll just cover, is closer. Hang on, I just want to do this. I'm going to cover his number up. Can you see? Oh shit, where's it gone? Hang on a minute. That wasn't very clever, was it? See the way, like that should have a decent pilot in there and be secured properly. That's disgusting. I mean, I find that really annoying. We have 3 Monaros. Well, Dad's HQ has been in the shed since 1984. Your dad's just become my new best friend. Yeah. Look, you know what? We give them away. We've sold them for nothing. And the thing is, if you had a crystal ball, you would hang on to them. But none of us had that, and that's what they were worth back then. They weren't worth anything. No one wanted them. A Toyota, a Nissan Gazelle was worth a lot more money than an HK Monaro. And now, what's a Gazelle? $300. It's just the way times change. Pick up many helpful tips from your body prep paint and even local businesses. My dad's in 1600. Yum, I like those. That's a 510 in American terms. I'm working on now has many gold zinc bolts thanks to your Good on you. Yeah, and it protects them and makes them look better, and it's cheaper to stick them in a bucket or to string them up and take them down to a joint like that than it is to clean them, and they still don't look as good. My HT was an original 307 Chevy with the turbo 350 and a Salisbury. Wow. The cops loved you. Yeah, I bet they did. Really wish I... Okay, AP6, Dad had one of those. The JFJ 454 plates on the Starlet are actually off Dad's AP6 Valiant. It's just the part with the EB and EL. Yeah, you get attached to... I get very attached to cars. Even ones that I don't really like that much. I sort of feel sorry for them and start to like them. What have we got? Hello, Harvey. Good to see that giant huntsman in your shed door didn't carry away. No, it didn't. It looked the size of my hand, though. It looked like a gorilla. Okay, so you've got an HK Monaro and it's in a paddock. Are you sure? You've got to go and get it back. You get it out of there and say, okay, if it's in a paddock, it doesn't mean much to you. I'll give you $100 for it, and then you'll be making lots of money. Yeah, Michael Hunt isn't someone I'm going to page. Turbo Toronto, are you a kid from school too? What should I do with the 302 that's been left out in the rain for 6 months with one cylinder head off it, and it's been filled up with mashed potato? The problem is, if it's an original bore one, you can only max at 60,000s. Most people will only max one of those to 40,000s. So it's probably going to need sleeves or whatever. It depends. If it's a significant engine block, like a Boss 302 or something, yeah, you'd fix it. But if it's another one, you probably just wouldn't bother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Wish my dad had a little, his AH Sprite Mark IIA ran on avgas. Wow. He often tells me about going sideways across Albert's Point Bridge in New South Wales. Oh, gee whiz. The things we used to do. I remember going sideways up Tunstall Road in an XC years ago. And I lost it. It had a slippery diff. And it was going sideways. And I went too far to the right. I thought I'm gone. Because then it came right around the left. My friends and I in the car, we're looking at the side windows as we're going up Tunstall Road. And then it mounted on the curb. It wasn't a fixed curb. It was a dirt curb. Up toward the top of the Tunstall Road shopping centre. And I went up onto this bank. And the front wheels off the ground. We got out, opened the bonnet, and it was dirt all over the engine because it had got in the fan. So we reversed and drove off. I'd be gutted if I did that. If I drove like that now. I wanted to ask if you enjoy working on the bikes or the cars more. Different experience. The bikes can be more frustrating, but when it comes to bodywork, a bike any day because I don't like doing bodywork on cars. On cars, there's too much of it. Hi, Michael. I don't know. The bikes are easier in a way because they're smaller, but they're more intricate. And there's different laws with them when you play around with them. They can be more frustrating. I can get a car engine, I can rebuild a car engine and have it start straight away. Every time. And that's not because I'm being conceited, but I know exactly how to time them, particularly the stuff that I'm mucking around with. I always get my oil pressure up. I always get my fuel ready to go, and then turn a coil on and you run. If it doesn't start, there's something very wrong. And you need to be like that with a flat tappet engine because you've got to run your cam in. You've got to go straight from nothing to about 2 grand to start those lifters spinning around. A bike, I still end up kicking them to hell and they don't go. So I'm not quite as clued up with bikes as I am with cars. But I do enjoy the bikes. I like what they look like much more than I do riding them. What have we got? I'm getting my LX L32 Slurp 500 out of the paddock as well. Are you sure you've got all this stuff? That sounds really good. Hello for Big Jeff in Guernsey, Channel Islands. How are you, Big Jeff? I cry when I see what Datsun Skyline 240K is worth now. $500 used to pick up a good one in the mid-80s. How much do you pay for one of those? I know the 240Zs are very dear. I didn't know about the did you say 240Ks? Yeah, I don't know what they're worth now. G'day, how you going? Yeah, the GD40P heads on the newer Windsors are worth a lot. They're good. They're really good. How are you going to add to the car fleet now? You know you will. No space left. Don't know. It's a problem I've got. I need to find some storage or move. we've been talking about moving, but the problem is they're talking about building on, and the kids want to stay here and all this. But my kids are all adults now, so they're bound to just find somewhere to go and then leave. But I wouldn't mind moving further out with some more land and getting a bigger shed, because it's pretty stupid what I'm doing. I almost hurt myself every time I go in there, because you're sort of between cars like this and, you know, scuffing yourself everywhere. Bikes are cheaper to restore and take up less space. Yeah, I know. But they don't have the value in them. Like the 350 4-cylinder, all factory restored back to good and all that's probably worth what, $6,000. Where the XW, the return is much higher, but then the work is a lot harder. I haven't owned a Percy's bike, no. Oh, bloody hell, I've got all these freaking kids. Yeah, okay, so working at Coles 20 years ago in Tunstall Square, all the guys were doing burnouts on the way out. Yeah, and they did that out of Food Plus in Doncaster as well, near Blackburn Road. I pulled in there, and the cops came from the police station that was 2 doors down, and they tried to pin me for doing burnouts, and I wasn't. I said, no. They said it was in Jackson Court, and I didn't even know what that was. But he was an arsehole, that guy. He was not a nice cop. But they were sick, I think, of the young element. I had a friend, Luke, who used to do rollbacks everywhere. He got a GXL, a sweet green one like mine, and he'd fly backwards and reverse, go for first, and just light it up. That was a 351, but it was a standard one. It was fairly slow until he rebuilt it all. To the country, yeah, could do, but then I'm sort of stuck at home all day. I suppose I am now, right? Build, restore, and fix. Love the bike videos. I have a Honda CB504 my uncle gave me. I have to restore it. That's a great bike. And it's good to restore them back. The 504s, they're a favourite of that guy in Austin, Texas, and he makes Brat style and all these sorts of bikes out of it. And he just chops them up. And it's like, man, what are you doing? How do you get something like a 504 and make it look better by cutting it up? I just don't get it. I just will never, ever get it. He's got a pile. You should talk to Don's Tricks, Anthony. I have a dilemma where I need to figure out what to do. Or if I want to go to the Summer next year, or actually start rebuilding the pile of 1974 Cleveland parts sitting on my shed floor. If you've got any spare stuff, send it to Don's Tricks. I'm going to send an email of all his cars. That sounds good. Are you originally from Doncaster? No, I was Park Orchard. But my friends were in Doncaster. Thoughts on the Cafe Racer bikes? Personally, I think it's waste cutting up. It is. Cafe Racers are great if you have, and some of them do look cool. All right, Dave's BMW is a Cafe, and it looks so much better than it did. A lot of the early 80s bikes had lots of, like extra bodywork on the back, the ducktails and storage and that sort of stuff, and pannier, bracketry, and all this sort of other stuff. They're quite a messy frame. And the BMW one, all of that is like an old frame, and all that modern stuff that they used to put on them in the early 80s is actually unboltable. All that whole frame section just comes off the original frame. And so he hasn't cut anything. And the bike looks mad. And it's got books and everything with it from when it was new. Some old guy had it. Jaden, knock it off or I'll block it. That's not appropriate. Nick, same with you. We've got all these explosive diarrhea comments, which I'm going to hide them because I don't want to see them. Knock it off, guys, please. Otherwise, I will get you out of here. What am I going to say? Next to the curtains, that's a key box. There's keys in there. Yeah, but if you get, so I've got a 350 frame and a motor and some forks, which I've got 2 left forks, which I only haven't got a right one, and swing arm and stuff. And that's the perfect bike to do it to. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do something different. I don't want to be stuck with a Cafe or Brat or Scrambler or any of those sorts of styles. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. I don't want to be stuck with a Cafe or Brat or Scrambler or any of those sorts of styles. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And, you know, that way I don't have to answer to anyone's criticism. I'll just do it the way I want. Thank you, Lucas. Thanks for all the CB750 videos. Just starting a restoration on a K1. Wow, lucky you. I got a K8. But yeah, I'm very lucky to have it. I used to work for Stratford, just up the road from where you're working. Yes, I know a Stratford. That was Ted Straps. I went to school with Simon Strapp, the son, at Yarra Valley. And my friend John Gibbo, Strapp sold 8 years ago. I can't remember, Mercedes-Benz dealer or something. He still works there. Okay, so postage is so slow at the moment. Oh, I had a fuel pump from the USA. So far, 2 months. Far out. I've ordered stuff from Japan, and I've sent 3 emails now. Where is this stuff? Or did you send it? I don't know if you sent it yet. And I need it to do the brakes on the front of this bike. Yeah, BMW make great stuff. I'm looking to get my dad's old RD2. They're money in the bank, those things. They're kind of one of the biggest classics. They came out in 1982. There was a 250 and a 350. The 250, I think, had the blue stripes, and the 350 the red. Is that right? I can't remember. And the 350s that had anything, they flew. Actually, what's his name that we always talk about? Alan Milliard used 4 RD250 barrels on a Kawasaki 2-stroke based on a 500 H1. I don't know anyone with parts with them though. Haven't ridden any of those, no. I don't know if those people are from my school, but I wouldn't have a clue. Probably. Normally, that's the sort of behaviour you'd see from, say, a year 8 boy. At year 7, they're still, hi, Mr. Anderson. But at year 8, like, it's not a girl, I wouldn't think. Are you into doing caravans? I would. I had a caravan, but I got rid of it because there's just nowhere to put one. Okay. Hang on a minute. Alright. How do I get rid of it? Where is he? I'm going to block you because you're annoying me. And I take a lot to annoy you. Hide user. Go away. I really don't want to see you. I hope I got him. Yeah, that's just not necessary. Hang on. Hang on a sec. Hey, Bender, what are you doing? I'm doing wine walk down. Matt Bender. I wrote you a comment back. I was always impressed with your mechanical knowledge. And the way you took on, this guy was an apprentice at Blackburn Nissan, and I used to like doing 10,000s on pulsars because you can bang them out in about 2 minutes and you can just bludge for the rest of the time, and Mick, the service manager, would come out, how much longer? 15. And you'd be talking to someone having a cigarette. That's the way it worked. Poor old Mick. But otherwise, if you did it too quickly, they'd be giving you heaps of job cards. I used to like doing wiring and sunroofs for something like fixing sunroofs and Maximas and stuff like that. I was pretty good at it. But the wiring stuff was something I really used to enjoy doing. And he got a 7 Series Beamer that was traded at the Prestige lot over the road. And that had all the climate control didn't work, and they were all white wires. And they were knackered. And I came in with a multimeter, and I could just spend hours on it. I've sorted it out. It was all good. But Matthew he was an apprentice at the time, and they used to give me freaking patrol gearboxes and transfer cases, all this sort of crap. And I used to run for the hills when I saw that shit. I just thought, no, I'm not going to get involved with that. But Bender just bang, 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 he got straight through it. I was always impressed by him. Z8 from, hang on, Richard McEwen. Is it Ringwood Automatics? Oh, Ringwood Automatics. Was that the place owned by Peter Guillermo? Not Guillermo, what's his name? Ringwood Automatics, I'm sure, was owned by a guy that used to do my roadways. He passed away. He was a lovely guy. Cracked dashboards, yeah. I've just looked. They normally lift and they crack, and I normally just shave them right down and fill them with bumper filler, which is like a 2-pack or 2-part filler, like Bob, but it's flexible, and that's how I've done it. But it's not the best, but it's all good. Do you buy locally, import from US? Parts for Clevelands and Windsors, I buy locally. Absolutely. There's plenty of local support for those things here still. Clevos were available till 1984, and there's always been support for them. In fact, there's more support for them here than there is overseas. So if you want consumables, water pumps, gaskets, intake manifold, pans and bellies and all that sort of crap, you just go to Auto Surplus. Some parts you can still get through Burson's or those sorts of places as well. But yeah, no, don't go to the US. The US is cheap for things like Windsor parts because they had Windsors till the 90s or early 2000s or something. No, the 90s I think, since the modular came out. But the problem with the US is the exchange rate's crap at the moment. So you're getting, $1.70 buys $1, but the postage, that'll kill you. The postage from US is just ridiculous. It's dearer than the English postage. John Gibbo, yeah, he's a friend of mine. I've known John since he was 17. He's a PD manager, that's right. Yeah, John's one of my best mates. I've known him, since I think I'm a year older than him. He was 17, I was 18 when we met. And I started my trade with his dad. That's who I started my motor trade thing with. Ever had a look at a CBR 250R? Red line's at 8.5. That's one of those 4-cylinder 250s, isn't it? RD 250 was red, yeah, the 350 was blue. Do you still have a green Victor Mower 4-stroke you posted a couple of years ago? Is that the Toco one? I sold that, but I've still got all the others. Also, noticed some drum gear in the background. Used to play the drums, that was a drum kit I had years ago. My nephew played them, and then I ended up giving those away. And still a Zildjian cymbal. I actually had to go and get that back because my nephew bought that, and then his mum, my sister, goes, "Oh, the cymbal Alex bought." I thought, "Oh, I'll go and get the cymbal back." And so I asked the guy, and he goes, "No, it's long gone." And I got the cymbal back, and now it's sitting on you'll see it on the garage wall where I do those videos, and it just hangs there, a Zildjian cymbal. But I had a drum kit. I've had 2 drum kits, but couldn't play them. I'm rubbish. So, and the problem with the drums is like the trumpet. If you add, everyone knows, right? Everyone can do that 4-beat beat thing, but you come to do a fill, and everyone's going to know how bad you are. It's like playing the trumpet. Everyone blocks their ears, and the violin's another one. At least a guitar can be quiet. So you're better off playing guitar if you don't know what you're doing. Hang on, where are we now? 2 front rotors broke from Craigieburn to Colac. 19 days. Jesus, that's a lot. Hi from the south coast of England. Which coast are you on? The south coast. What's down there? Is that Devon? Cornwall? No, that would be Plymouth. Around there? Is that what you're talking about? Around there? Plymouth? Or, I can't remember. Did you hear Bunnings is going out of business in 2 months? No? Yeah, it is a small world. I'm just trying to think. Bender wouldn't know John Gibbo, I think. Dropped 2.5 on a panel work on my 97 Caprice this week. Ow. Yeah, that's a lot. The people that did the panel work on Susie's car did that bad a job. I'm furious it's going back. They even put 1 tinted window in it, the dickheads. I'm doing a Windsor at the moment. Not worth getting parts from the US. Exchange rate is terrible, plus postage tape. Yeah, postage is ridiculous. So back in 84, he buys all his stuff to convert his 6-cylinder XP into a 351 GT from Ray. Yep, that's the same guy we'll see. I see the stickers on some cars. Yeah. No, Ray retired. Ray ended up buying his own place in Bayswater, and he just retired. Have you ever tried Hylamar Blue Gasket Sealer? Yeah, we used to use that at White Horse Motors on Jags. When I was fixing Jaguars up in the early 90s, we used to use that. Developed for the Spitty. Oh, so it's a Rolls-Royce Merlin sealer, isn't it? It's fantastic and only stuff I use. Yeah, I can see why. It's good stuff. Thanks for your effort on the videos. Have been able to use much of your advice on the ZB351 Cleveland Fairlane. Been watching you for years. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, your nan's neighbour sounds like she's strangling a cat when she pulls the trumpet out. Yeah, it's not good. Hey, Phil. Looking for a Lenati cam. I've got one of them in a Performer manifold, a 650 VAC secondaries. Holy carb. This is for a Blue XD I showed you a while back. Oh, are you Phil? Hang on. Did you come around here with a friend of yours that has a Starling? I wonder if it's the same one. And he got this mint 351 XD gear, all original. And it even had the S-Pack seats. It had the Balua Delete option, which I didn't even know you could get. Oh, gee whiz. So what else is going on? Not much, really. I've got an offer of a whole bunch of other bikes, but I don't know if I'll take them on at the moment. I tried to find all my old Cafe Racer stuff that was given to, or that came on that 350 when I bought it, and I stuck it all in a box, and I found half of it, and I don't know what the rest of it is. So I think the priority for now is the 250's finished, thereabouts, almost finished. I'm nearly there with that. The Kickstarter's fine. I thought I screwed something up, but the housing where the bush, there's a cover goes over the sprocket, the Kickstarter passes through it, and the Kickstarter shaft got run out. And so as you kick it down, it catches, and it would stay down. I thought the spring was knackered, but it wasn't. So I've got to finish that off, and I've changed the housing and polished it and all this crap. Anyway, that's fine. There's no problem with that. So the 250 is nearly finished. The 354, I'm going to pull out that trashed 350 engine while I'm still in lockdown, pull that down. That thing looks like hell. But it might not be that bad underneath. Who knows? So we'll do that. And then the XC, I've got to get that thing out and get it finished. So I think I'm going to have to do some car stuff. The 750, I'm going to get the exhaust for it as well, reasonably soon. The only one I can afford really is 4x1. I didn't want that. I wanted 4x4, at least 4x2. But 4x4 is $2,000, 4x2 is $1,000, and 4x1 is like 600. So what do you do? I've just got another comment about the XC. Yeah, the series playlist there. I'm up to video 50. Bloody 5 on it. The XC, by the time again, I wouldn't have done it because the body was very good but destroyed by the previous owner. He made a mess of it. And, I just spent hours upon hours fixing up what he'd done, welding in bits and pieces and the mixer. That's my daughter's. Thank you very much, Incognito Bandito. Thank you. That turned out to be a pain in the ass, but the car's nice now, and it's rust free. So what do you do? I've got a better car in the long run, but it was a lot more than I thought it would be then, if you know what I mean, in terms of work. So I've got to finish bits of that off, and I'm a bit worried about, because normally between August and the end of the year is my poor months, because of you've got all your bills and birthdays and all this stuff. And normally I've got tax bills, but I have paid my tax last year, so it looks like I'm not getting a bill. I'm getting some money back, which is great, because that frees up a lot. So it's like a Cortina. Someone's asked me if I do turbo. A TC or TE Cortina. There's a green 6-cylinder one that hangs around here, a wagon. I'm sure Poms who watch the channel would love it. Pete C is the best one with Cortinas. You'd always get compared to him, and he does amazing work. I don't know how he's doing well with his videos, but geez, his videos go for 2.5 hours. It's like they're long videos. Mum's really good now, thanks. She is a lot better. And they were wanting permission to change medication or to look at medication. I said, please don't change it, because she's finally looking a bit better. So that's good. Now would be a good time to get your home zinc plating kit. The problem with the zinc plating kit, is you've got to have an etching bath, which is hydrochloric acid. I think it's hydrochloric acid. You've got your different baths, and they stink. And actually, I could do it. It wouldn't be hard to do, but I actually don't want to, because the limited room I have, I don't want to smell that stuff. And so I've sort of found it easier and then you've got to buy the stuff, but I found it easier just to string it up, stick it in a bucket and take it to Warner's, and they do a better job than anyone else that I've ever seen. And I used to get big tubs, $50 to get plated, and then they stopped doing a lot of the car stuff because it was too fiddly for them. So that's when I started stringing my own stuff, but I was still taking it there, because I went to another guy that they recommended, and he charged $80 for a small sandwich bag of stuff. And I thought, yeah, that's fine. You can charge me that, but I'll never see you again. I got pissed off with that. But I don't mind people making money because you've got to put food on the table, but people just ripping others off, no thanks. And is there much difference between the 5-litre AU Windsor and the old girls? Other than the injection, it's a different cylinder block. The 5-litre AU has a roller cam in it, and so they're different setup, and the cylinder heads are different too. The cylinder heads are interchangeable, and the 5-litre injected will bolt into an older car. Matthew, hey Peter, how are you going? Just ask what's a good price before a 351. Looking at getting one. Oh, good price for one. I mean, God, I don't know now. People seem to want $1,200, $1,300 for rebuildable 302s. There should be plenty of them available still because a lot of people are actually ditching those sorts of motors and going for Barras. Barras are cheap and they're powerful. People turbocharge them, get all sorts of juice out of them. I don't know. It depends on the condition. If it's got, if it's a long motor, if it's a short motor, you know what I mean, that sort of stuff. There is one batch of 351s that's really bad because they were, and it was in 1977, and I had one of them, and they have annular cracks around the journals, and you got to be very careful of that. You know, that's bad. You don't want that. So I ended up having to get a 4MA crank for the XC because the crank I had was no good. It looked good. But yeah, no, it's, you don't want any of those breaking and throwing legs out of bed. So it just depends. I mean, the one I got, the XC's one, the block, was $200 with a crank and everything in it. It just landed on eBay with a buy it now price, and I hit it straight away and then went and picked it up because I knew the guy was ripping himself off. But as it stands, I had to change out the crank. Right? So the block I bought through, and I did the Junkyard 302 engine. That was $300, but that had cracks in the block between where the bolts had been, the bolts and the water jackets. And they said, you know, you'll probably get away with it, but I didn't want it because it was cracked. And so I gave that to Ray Kwan. And then the machine shop, there was a guy working there that goes, we've actually got a 81 or an 80 dated Cleveland block virgin bore. You can have it for $300. So yeah, okay. So things like that, if you look for them on eBay, forget it. You need to find someone that's got one that isn't, because when they stick one on eBay, they're putting them on for $1,500, stuff like that. $2,000, you know, and it's ridiculous because they're not worth that. They're not even powerful now, really, unless you modify them. In standard form, they're pretty slow. Yeah, 4MA or 4MAB. So the 4MA that I've got is very fine casting on the counterweights, whereas the Australian one's very rough. But the cranks, the American cranks are better, but apparently the Australian blocks are better. Where was I up to? I have 2 barrows in my shed waiting for projects. Yeah, barrows are just powerhouses. That's rear main seat. Yeah, the I think. Oh yeah, the rear main thing. Yeah, it's for an 83 XE. So that would have been, and the 83 ones, if that had a Cleveland, they can be pillow blocks. They can be the NASCAR blocks. They're worth a lot of money. They've got little swollen sections on the sides where the water jackets are, so they can carry more coolant. Hello, how you going, Graham? Your parts are on their way. Oh, wow, thanks very much. I forgot to mention I only had one Fairmont eyebrow. But one's better than none. I threw in some other random XC goodies. Thanks so much. You're the man. Someone gave me headlights around too, which I was wrapped with. Can a normal E7 Windsor heads be worked and modified to make them as good as GD40P? Don't know. Philip Bolly, have you got a NASCAR block? Have you got a pillow block? You don't want to donate it, do you? A pillow block. That's a nice thing to have. I saw a Cleveland advertised on eBay. This is going back about 6 years, and it had JG66 was the engine number. You could see it in one of the photos. That's a GT coupe, like an XA or XB GT, 2-door, and it's like, yeah, I think I might have to have that. So I bid on it, but somebody else outbid me. I think I put $1,000 or something on it, but someone else got it. Not really. You'd pay $1,000 getting them reworked when you could buy a GD40 head. Yeah, that's fair. Put a barrel in the Sigma, or how's the turbo coming, or the Astron? Yeah. Oh, complete motor, $4,500. Oh, that's a lot. No, I don't know. I was going to put a turbocharger on it, but it still runs so sweetly. If it gave up and I found some turbo bits, yeah, I would absolutely do it. But yeah, and Barrett in a press. That'd be good. But yeah, I would do it. I've done it before, but I'm older now and I'm a bit more sedate in my driving and I'm boring and fat and all that sort of stuff, so I probably wouldn't. But if that stuff came up, then yeah, for sure, I'd do it. I'd put power steering on that car, for God's sake. I mean, if you're going to do that, you probably would do a turbo. Hello, Peter. My tea's gone cold. Try buying Mopar stuff. Mopar stuff's ridiculously expensive. The washer bags. Scott sent me one from Canada. Oh, the Fox Body Mustangs after, yeah, they're all roller. You can use the late heads on the early roller motors. Oh, what's this stuff? I didn't know. Saw a Sigma with the V6 in it, Commodore one. They put V8s and V6s, anything fits in Sigmas. But yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say now. I'm getting tired. Maybe I'm forgetting stuff. People are starting to drop off too. So I should probably quit now while I'm ahead. Yeah. So yeah, more on the way. Just gotta, and I'm really sorry actually. I owe you the apology because I'm sorry. I kind of jump from one project to the other. It depends on what parts have come and what I can do at the time. It also depends a little bit about the mood as well. So, you know, the pit bike thing, I would never have bothered, but it was there and we're in lockdown. Parts are taking 4 years to get here. So why wouldn't you do it? Do you know what I mean? And that's the reason I jumped on the pit bike thing and did it. Is it worth me? Good night, Mark. Take care. I was going to say, is it worth me going to have a break and coming back or quitting? What are we on? Well, we're on an hour. Should probably quit. Good night, Matthew. Take care. Just popped in last minute. Hello, Dean Jax. How are you going? NASCAR Pillow I bought in a bundle with a complete 351, a few sets of heads and a couple of carbies and transits for $1,300. Wow. Even the transmissions used to pick up C4s. Well, these people call them C10s. No one's offering to make me a coffee, Harvey. It's cold. It's not nice. Oh, geez, I've just lost my train of thought again. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, the Philippines. How are you going? Yeah. Oh, no, thanks very much for that. Have you broken the curfew, be honest? No, I haven't. You know what? I nearly did. You're allowed out till 8 o'clock, and we were starving, and no one could be fags cooking. So it's a pizza shop. And I said, will you make the pizzas? I've got 10 minutes. And it was funny because outside the pizza shop on Bedford Road, sorry, there were cars everywhere. And it's like, you wouldn't think it was a curfew. It's like 5 to 8 and cars are going everywhere. I walked out of the joint in about 3 minutes past 8 to come home. And it was like a ghost town. No one was around. Like, if you look up and down, you can see a good distance. No one was around. They all just flying home. Thank you very much, Chris. It's always a pleasure. I'm just wondering whether... Yes, okay. See you later. Take care, won't you? Do you have a sneaky smoke dart in the shed? Yeah, sometime. So technically, yeah, I did break it. Technically, I was 3 minutes over. I think I pulled in the driveway at about 5 minutes over. So, because I only live literally 2 minutes from the pizza shop. So, yeah, we had no food in the house. You know, Susie had been shopping, I hadn't been shopping. Oh, wow. Too late this year. I'll try and thank you very much. God, my school wouldn't recommend me to that. See, you haven't missed much. I'm just talking a bit of crap. You're in Melbourne, Pete. My sister lives there. Where does she live? Where does your sister live? But, yeah, so there's a bit of stuff coming up. I've just got to figure out what I'm going to do. That's what I was talking about. So I kind of do it by the mood or what I've got parts for. So if I'm waiting for parts for the 250, which are going to take forever and a day, I might pull out the old 350 motor, which is buggered. That one that was in a go-kart that's really trashed. I was thinking about getting that out. No, thanks very much. Gee, people are nice to me, aren't they? Dictator Dan. People criticise him, and a lot of the problems with the coronavirus we've had in Victoria hasn't been his fault. It's been people, doing stupid things and doing big gatherings when they're not supposed to and that sort of stuff. I always thought it was very sexy man. Thanks very much. I always thought it was the fault of those people and people picketing and protesting. I mean, they're talking about doing more protesting now. It's like, Jesus, guys. I've taken it very seriously and been pretty good about it because my mother is almost 90 and she's just getting better from a horrible operation about 6 months ago. We thought we were going to lose her. And she's still got a heartbeat and she's still vertical. That's a good day, right? You wake up, that's a good day. And so I'm taking it really, really seriously. And so that's why I'm not breaking curfew and that sort of thing. And you know what? All I do is I'm in a car all day doing errands for people, like people that live here. And then I'm on here in the study doing lessons and stuff like that for school. And then I go in the garage and do half an hour, an hour. You know what I mean? I'm always very busy. And so now it actually feels really good. I was very busy last night. I stayed up pretty much all last night because we got progress and I had to do a bunch of corrections. And the corrections were only S's and N's. They weren't full corrections with comments. It's only a progress report. But I've got 8 classes of kids. I've got too many. And I don't know how I bloody ended up with so many, but I have. So I fell asleep on the couch yesterday at something like 7 o'clock. I was rooted. I was so glad. And my daughter, Rosie, wanted to talk to me, and Charlie wanted to talk to me as well. So those two came in the lounge and were talking. They're actually having a go at me because they reckon I play favourites with Alana, which is just bull dust. So I'm sitting there going, yeah, guys, that's terrible. And I fell asleep, and I woke up at, I think, midnight or 11:30. I was like, oh, yes, I love getting up and having the whole night where I'm not tired. So I thought, I've got to get these reports done. So I sat in here until 4 o'clock in the morning doing corrections, doing reports. Then I watched a bunch of motorbike fails where people are doing monos and, the bike nicks off and then they're just running behind it and stuff like that. I was pissing myself with laughter. I was having a ball. I thought it was great. So then I had 4 classes on today and I stayed up through that, obviously, because I had to. And I'm on my laptop and I've got my my work laptop, which is a Mac, and I hate Macs. They're useless. That's 10 times slower than this old desktop I use. But that's what we have to use for work. So I'm on that and I'm doing all these things and kids are asking questions and all that. And I was good, but at the end of work, I bombed and I actually fell asleep. And I was on the last class. School finishes at 3:15, but on the line, you were supposed to be on for 40 minutes. And I did 40 minutes, I think. And then I just fell asleep. And then I missed 10 minutes of a meeting we had after work, and it's a good thing I didn't have the camera on because they would have just had a view of me doing that. Then I woke up and I was like, oh, sorry about that. And jumped on and the meeting was good. Yeah, I'd love an XP tutor. Next project. Even though you don't like them, AU Aussie Legend. My brother's got an AU XR8 with the Tickford motor. It's all right. I'm a little bit tired. That's probably why I'm babbling a bit. But what time is it now? It's 11:06. I probably won't get to sleep till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Oh, you're what? So hang on, Don's Tricks. Is your name actually Don or is it Andrew? And what's your son's name? Is it Justin or is it Jason? Right, Don's Tricks. My wife Julie is a primary school teacher. She's still going to school, but I wonder how much longer. I can't wait for all this COVID stuff to be over. Ditto. But in saying that, I'm kind of enjoying the time at home. I must say I'm enjoying it. And I feel bad saying that. But I don't know. I'm pretty well organised in my lesson planning and all that sort of stuff. but it allows me a little bit more freedom than I had when I was going to work. I can go and get dinner too. So that's me. That's what I'm doing. Not a great deal more to really talk about. There's just more offers for bike stuff to do, but I'm not sure if I'll do it. Dave got a XL 500 motor, and it needs a rod kit in it. There's a lot of up and down movement on the conrod. They're a torque monster, those things, and I thought, he goes, oh, it's going to sit there, and I don't want him to throw it out. And he said, just take it. It's like, what? But I don't want a dirt bike. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to just do what I can. But at the moment I have to buy parts, and it becomes sort of difficult. Now I can get a top loader from XP. The best place to get a top loader, I would think, would be from one of the American import guys. So there's one in Queensland. I can't remember his name. And he's always advertising. And there's one in Bayswater. Someone else was asking me, and he's actually a good guy. And I can't remember his name either. It's not far from here. I see the trolling's back, is it? Whereabouts do I teach? Oh, I can't tell you that. I never say on here where I teach. Although someone's about to mention it. I think a lot of people know. I teach in a state school. I went to school in a private school and I teach in a state school. So, what have we got now? 1:15. We might wait another... We might give it another 5 minutes and then ditch. I've got to go and do a few things. I spotted the last live feed. I had the Titanic. Yeah, the Titanic is... Alright, that's the Titanic. The one next to it's the SS United States. The SS United States is really interesting because it's still in a dock in Pennsylvania. And it had aircraft carrier, maritime history and all that sort of stuff. Behind me here is a floor pan of the Titanic. Great camera work. There you go. So that sits on my wall. Yeah, that sort of sits on the wall behind me, in front of me, sorry. But yeah, I like that sort of stuff. I went to Yarra Valley Grammar. Back then it was Yarra Valley Church of England School in England. All the birds go crazy in the videos. I know the birds go nuts. My wife's a year level coordinator. I was too. I was a coordinator for 9 years. I actually liked it. I used to work with this woman, Villa Margella. She was wonderful. The kids used to be naughty in class so they could comment out with us. When I found that out, I had to be a bit more strict. But they were so sweet. They were really good. XL, yeah, the XL 500s. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? I've got a beautiful Art Deco one up in Normandy. Have you heard of the Normandy one, Graham? The Normandy was a French Art Deco ship in the 30s, and it sunk. Well, it didn't sink. It fell over in him. Take the bungs out to the water drain, and they wouldn't let him on board. Of course, the Normandy got a list on it, and it just fell over. Okay, XL 500. What do we got? Get the engine and repower modern frame. Will make a great commuter bike. The modern frames, though, they're kind of delta frames, aren't they? I like the old tubulars, but they're not as good. It's the movie you really love, is it, Graham? So the Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet on the bow doing this sort of stuff. Can you imagine that? I remember seeing it when I was in 1996 or 7 or something. And can you imagine standing up that high and just seeing nothing but space around you? It would have actually been quite a beautiful sight. Until it was sinking. That's a sight I don't want to see. PB50 goes off. Okay, so what have we got? I'm currently learning at a tech school in Sunshine, and it's the best I can get into cars as I'm doing engineering. Engineering is good. Some parts aren't bad in that movie. I love the engine room sequences and that sort of stuff. Susie's asleep. And normally, if I stay up too late, I don't even bother going to bed. I'll just go on the couch because she wakes up. Susie will wake up if a feather falls. She's the lightest sleeper. And, of course, I get in there and start snoring. Propeller going. There's a lot of video footage on YouTube when they made Titanic. And there was one I found where they were... Jim Cameron was going nuts. And a lot of people are very frightened of them and having a bit of a hard time. Anyway, it's probably time I went. I'm going to say goodnight. Pretty easy on it. Isn't it like the topless scene? Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll do another one in a week or two. And I'll be a little bit more awake. I think I was a bit tired today. But anyway, look, thanks very much for joining me and taking care of yourselves. And I will end it now. So thanks for joining.